the start of Reading Rush 2020, and I have a little reading update. Not much of one because I actually haven't done any reading this morning. Not a great start for a readathon, but I have figured out one of the prompts that was kind of up in the air for me. I believe it was prompt 4, which was the one where you read the first book you touch, and I am reading The Poedex by Elizabeth Acevedo. I wanted to start this last night. I've heard really good things about it. It's due at the library soon, and I also have the audiobook unscripted, but I ended up being too tired to start it, and I grabbed it this morning on my way to breakfast without even thinking of the prompts. Again, I didn't actually do any reading during breakfast. I won't get to read for a little bit while more because I am making this peach plum galette from Food Network. I'm really excited. You do make your own crust, your own dough, but it doesn't look very hard. It's about 11:30, 11:45-ish. Now, it's about 11:45 right now, and I'm going to get started on it because the dough has to sit in the fridge for 2 hours. So I will get started on that. I may end up listening to the audiobook some while I'm making it. Listen to audiobooks very often. I'm really bad at focusing on them. I usually have to have a physical copy of the book to read along with it. I'm not great at multitasking, so we'll see how it goes. back. Sorry for the background noise. I have the AC on because that's how hot it is in Louisiana. I'm at Barnes & Noble. It's a 15-minute drive from my house. I had the air on its coldest setting on full blast, and it's still not comfortable in my car. Anyway, it's Wednesday. I didn't vlog any at all yesterday, and yet that was when I did a ton of reading. I read maybe 10 pages on Monday while I was eating my galette. Was too tired to read that night, but I read almost the entirety of The Poet X yesterday. I listened to the audiobook while reading along in my physical copy, and it was really good. Elizabeth Acevedo definitely has a way with words. I really enjoy her writing, and Xiomara was a fully realized character. I feel like that's something that may be hard to do with novels in verse. There's just already so many elements going you have to balance and pay attention to in normal narrative storytelling, but when you are trying to do it in a poetry format, I feel like that's even more of a challenge, and she did that pretty well with the main character. Did want more out of the other characters. Like the dad he's still in the picture, but he's not very involved in his daughter's life. He basically ignores her. And yet he kind of swoops in and tries to help save the day, and then he starts listening to his poetry and encouraging and supporting her, and it's just very sudden. I really like the brother Xavier, but again, I wanted a little more out of him. He's probably the more fully realized. He was probably the more developed out of the side characters. I especially wanted more out of the mom. She is definitely portrayed as more of the villain character, devoutly religious, but in a negative way. And there's hints and poking around at a complexity to this. Like how when she was younger and still in the Dominican Republic, she loved God, she wanted to be a nun, but she had to give that up because her family basically chose her to marry and go to the United States. There are hints of complexity with that, and what her motivations and feelings might be when it comes to not just her attitude towards religion, but her relationship with Xiomara. And I felt that there's more to the mom than what we actually saw. I'm at Barnes & Noble. I was sorting through and organizing my room. I found a perfectly good, never been used $25 gift card, and I decided that once it opened up, I was going to go. I was going to make a big deal about it. Dress up nice, get some coffee, that sort of thing. Just make it this big thing, because I haven't been, not even since lockdown started in March, but since January. I went out looking for some required reading that I needed for a literature class. I'm wanting to get A Song of Raisin Ruin. I wanted to get that June Blackout bestseller week. It was out of stock pretty much everywhere, or at the very least back ordered. And last time I checked, it was in stock here. I might get another book, but I really shouldn't, because I've already gotten more books in the past 7 months than I usually get in a whole year. Most of them ebooks. 8 of them were free, but still, I have books to go through. I still haven't gone through most of the books I got for Christmas, so we'll see. And I'm gonna read in the cafe. I am reading Crazy Rich Asians today for prompt number 3. Read a book that inspired a movie you've already seen. I don't know why I thought it would be a good idea to read it during a readathon, because it's almost 600 pages, but I've also realized if I don't have time for The Weight of Our Sky, which was my book set on another continent, Crazy Rich Asians will count as that. I'm gonna read that and also make some progress on Mexican Gothic. I'm buddy reading it with a friend, and we only have 7 chapters left, which is really exciting. Yeah, I'm gonna read in the cafe, have some coffee, and then after that I have a prescription to pick up and some packages to send off at the post office. I made care packages for a couple of friends, and I had to wait on stickers in the mail it was the smallest thing, and it was what was holding me up. And that's gonna be my day. Oh, and I do have my mask. I'm going to the store with a mask on. This is just your regular reminder to wear your mask. Protect yourself, protect other people. Let's go. Back in the car with the AC on because it's even hotter now. I did successfully acquire a Song of Wraiths and Ruin. How gorgeous this cover is. Although I am interested in the premise too. I talked about this I think in my summer TBR. Yeah, my summer TBR. I usually, or at least in the past, have not been a huge enemies to lovers fan. But I don't know, it's just been appealing to me more lately. I haven't necessarily read a bunch of books with hate to love recently. I think I'm just loving the idea for some reason. And this book has it, and I am ready. I am so ready, and I am so ready. I read 50 pages of Crazy Rich Asians. I think it was like 4 or 5 chapters. I didn't read for super long because I wandered around looking up books for longer than I expected, and I was waiting for like the lunch rush to finish before going to the post office because I know it was probably going to be super busy then. I also don't want to go too late, then you hit the post work line, and also I still need to pick up my prescription, and once it hits like 4:30, for whatever reason everything just takes longer. You could be the only person waiting to get your prescription picked up, and it's just so slow. So I'm going to get these care packages shipped off and do some more reading at home. Okay, I'm home. The post office was a bust. There was one person working the counter, and they were either a newbie or there were issues with the computer or cash register or something. I don't know. There was just a lot of conferring with the manager, pointing, and stuff like that. The line wasn't moving for almost 15 minutes. There was probably 12 people in front of me. And by the time they sent a backup person out to work a counter, I don't know, I had to go to the bathroom, which was my cutoff point. I wasn't waiting in there any longer, and the new guy working the counter kind of looked like he would judge me for my lack of post office and experience, and not very happy with how long it would take for me to get everything ready. I just waited a bit too long to go in, I guess. 4 o'clock seemed to be a pretty busy time. I still have to pick up a prescription, so maybe tomorrow morning will be better. Okay, this is my final check-in for this round of vlogging. It is Thursday at this point. I forgot to do one last reading update last night before I went to bed, but there isn't much to update on. I read one chapter, so maybe 10 or 15 pages before I was too tired and had to put it down. I just got to the part where Nick's mom found out that he was going to bring home a girlfriend that they didn't know about when he visited home for the summer, and she's freaking out. Obviously, at this point, I don't know the characters very well, but I am liking the writing style. So I think reading this 500-something page book won't be that bad. And that's all for this vlog. I'm gonna stop it here. I didn't want these to get too long. So that's it. I'll see you next time.